down.
You know, it could be worse.
Every episode.
I mean,
Legitimately.
look, get good, Scrub. I don't know what to tell you.
It's
I'm
good
just saying-
content.
All I'm saying is we started off the conversation when we all logged on about a certain chapter, and I can't have this correlation between these two characters knowing that's who said it. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Well, look, he hasn't said anything like that, so
Hold
already the bar is not as deep in hell as it could be.
It could be. I want to
It's
see how
still
that.
in there, but it's not as deep as it could be.
Don't say that because JD will then make the fucking pit bottomless. 132. My heart rate is 132. 135.
That's a lot. You should
I
maybe
know, I'm
not.
concerned about you.
You should
No,
take
it's
a
okay.
breath.
I also just had caffeine. So it's fine.
Oh, okay.
That'll do it.
Elsie.
It's coming back down. I got upset.
No, you don't say. What for?
Nothing.
Elsie, you're so good at being. What did you just do, Steph? What just
Nothing. I was just telling Mac what part LC was on in the book. That's all.
Incredible.
I'm fine. It's fine. I'm fine. I have all these gold stars. Look at them. They're so great.
They're for your bodies.
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct.
Stars.
Do you have a lot of stars?
No.
Perhaps 2 city blocks worth.
I don't. I mean, like,
Which could
it's
be
a
anywhere
very...
from 400 to 2,800 in New York City.
Stop.
You
I
put those stats out there.
That was in Manhattan, though.
Okay.
And JD never answered me as to what kind of city
Okay.
this is.
I sure didn't.
Look at all these stars, though.
Oh, it's a lot of corpses.
It's a lot of corpses. And that's
It's a
not
lot
even
of
half of
corpses.
the roll. That's just like a part of the roll. Anyways,
It'll be fun.
got a little bit of a tremor going on now.
Elsie, I am so concerned about you.
I'm not. This is my normal resting.
Okay,
Oh, okay, then we're fine.
Yeah, that makes it better. Really.
so hey, real quick. I don't. Okay.
Anyways, yes.
Hey, are you familiar with water, Elsie?
I know of it. It is a substance that is not within arm's reach of me right now.
Mm,
I have
Interesting.
boba.
that's not water.
I have a fourth of a Celsius.
That is also the opposite.
That is
of
also
water.
not water.
Okay, this energy drink has water in the title. It says cloud water.
No.
Rain?
Okay,
Yeah.
Hey,
Sorry, that was a very Scylla response. I'm not sorry. Cloud water.
that was a
Rain?
very silly response. That came out so quick, too. You were just like, whip.
Steph is in character.
She's
in there
already.
now.
Ready.
Anyways,
Elsie, hydrate, please.
I can't. We're streaming.
No, you absolutely can. You could get up right now. You could get up
Yeah,
right this second.
Maybe in a second.
I don't trust that, but you know what?
We'll give it some time to percolate.
Okay, we don't need coffee right now.
I was going to say
Need
that's not something water does.
We need water.
This is going great. This is so well for tonight,
So
guys.
just so that you're aware, Elsie, you do have your camera on, so we can see all that happen. Like
The
yeah, we
facial
can,
journeys are
we can still
happening in
see
real
it.
time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any words right now.
We appreciate you, Elsie.
Okay. Just remember that when I get my keys and I crawl through your window in 6 hours.
I'll be
Did you
waiting.
mute yourself, Q?
I did because I was making slurp noises. Someone redeemed the hydrate check, so
Oh, thank you.
No.
Mm. No.
Wow.
Mm-mm.
The medical
That-
professional
nope.
becomes a brat. Interesting. That's not hydration.
Are you good, Elsie? Are you going to make it? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways, let's stop roasting Elsie and instead let us welcome all of you tonight to Entropy Emporium. Thank you for joining us at the nexus of chaotic fun and creativity, where adventurers roll the dice and digital realms. Elsie, you better be getting water.
I am. It was on the other side of my bed. In the crevice between the bed and the wall. That's where it fell today. I knocked it out crawling back through my window. I was in my hammock. Fucking finish the intro, JD.
Give
I
yourself a star
can't
for
stop
water.
laughing enough to do that, Elsie. I am now genuinely more afraid of you crawling through my window now that I know you do that regularly.
When I threaten someone, I mean it. I don't know why you thought this was a joke.
I think I thought it was a joke because you haven't done it yet. Anyways, as I was saying, hi, we are Entropy Emporium. I was halfway through, don't really know where I stopped, but you know what? We're just going to jump in randomly. Embrace the entropy of our community as we celebrate the unpredictability of tabletop stories and the dynamic worlds of video games. And as you can clearly see here, enjoy each other's company. Don't give me that look, Elsie. Don't give me that look. With that, this is They Call Us Villains. This is a masks horror game and subsequently includes a lot of content warnings and trigger warnings. These include, but are not limited to, institutional violence, forced institutionalization, medical abuse, psychological abuse and gaslighting, themes in line with real world conversion therapy, body horror, gore and blood, and isolation, seclusion, and sedation. If there are any others that come up, I am, of course, checking with the cast on lines and veils, and I will do my best to update you if there are any things that will be included in terms of content that were not on the aforementioned list. But before we dive in to tonight's episode, I'm going to go around, let the cast introduce themselves, who they're playing, and their character's playbook, starting with, as always, Harp.
Hi, I'm Harper. You can call me whatever. I'm playing Mara, and she is the Nova. She's new here and very normal.
Mara is the most normal, and yeah, Mara has had a hell of a past 48 hours.
Yeah, less than 2 days for sure.
I will say, for Q and Steph's benefit, we have broken out of David Lynch's 24 because 2 whole days have passed. And with that, Q,
You love to
you are
see
the
it.
next up.
Hi, I'm Q. Tonight I'm playing Connor Creed, everyone's favorite sweet sad boy. He is the transformed playbook.
And he makes us cry a lot. But we love him. And speaking of lovely characters, Steph, you are up next.
Hi, I am Steph. Tonight I am playing Silatarn. She is the Doomed playbook. Her moths live in her hair now, but you can't see them. It's great. She loves them. Everything is. It's nothing to be concerned about, I'm sure.
What's there to be concerned about? The only
Yeah,
bad
it
thing that
didn't.
happened was someone died, but that was like a whole week ago.
Mm-hmm. And someone might have seen me from a great distance away, like some Eye of Sauron shit. But we'll see what happens.
I wouldn't worry about that. I'm sure nothing bad
Where?
can happen from that failed roll that you had.
Yeah, it's so high security. Nothing can just get in here. So safe.
It is so safe. I mean, especially when you have heroes to protect you. And speaking of heroes, Elsie,
Well, you sure did that. You sure. Okay. Hi, I'm Elsie. I play Ellie Ellison, the protege playbook. I'm having a normal one at all hours of the day in this place, much like Mara. We are both very normal people. And I don't have anything else to share because I'm having a normal one with 0 issues internally or externally. So
yeah, you and Mara are so close to being identical. I mean, it's almost like I'm looking at the same person.
almost.
Almost.
One of us is nice.
What about the other one?
Not nice. That's the opposite of nice, JD. I don't know what to tell you.
I thought you might say, and one of us is nicer.
Oh no. No, that's not what I was going to say.
And as you can see, everyone is getting along really, really well. And so I'm sure there is no potential PvP that could happen tonight. That is not a concern that I have at all. But I think with that, we're going to have the chance to dive right in. And as always, get to see some of what is happening off the ward. So welcome to episode 4 of They Call Us Villains, the Mephisto Waltzes. We start once again on the isolation ward. It is quieter than it has been. There is no longer the ever-present sound of Caleb screaming. Though, for those of you who have been in ISO, you would know that the soundproofing of the rooms should have dampened that, and that never should have been audible unless it was coming through the intercoms. But you didn't notice that, you didn't experience that, so it's not, of course, of any concern to any of you. There are now 3 red lights over the rooms rather than the 2 there were before. The hallway lighting is as oppressively fluorescent as it always is. And the familiar form of Misty moves down the hall. And we watch from just over their shoulder as an orderly opens the door to one of those rooms. And Onyx steps out. They are back to being dressed in the usual green hemlock jumpsuit, and their red hair is messy and unwashed and unkempt. They approach Misty with the orderly at their side, and Misty greets them warmly as though this is a normal morning, and just says, "Good morning, Onyx." To which Onyx raises a middle finger. And though there is exasperation in the gesture, there is not actually anger. Misty just raises an eyebrow at them, and Onyx sighs and then reluctantly signs, "Glad you finally realized that I didn't kill Noah. Thanks for the horrible vacation here. I prefer Gen Pop." Misty looks them up and down and says, "You know that everything we do here is for your own good, Onyx, and for the safety of you. and for the safety of others. Onyx just rolls their eyes. Signs, yeah, sure, whatever. Can I go? Got a final interrogation. And Misty simply tells them, you're free to go. You'll be expected in group therapy later today. Time to be back to the usual routine. Time to be back to working on getting better. Onyx responds by saluting to them and letting the orderly lead them out of isolation and back to the ward. And Misty moves to the other rooms with the red lights above them. They glance inside the first, and we see that that room contains Gray, who is sitting in the corner, knees pulled up to their chest. He's tapping his fingers in a repetitive pattern against the wall. And the vibes are restless, but those of you who have been on the ward with them for any length of time know that he does not do anything slowly. They cannot do anything slowly. Yet, even in this moment, with that restless energy building, the movements are at a normal speed. Misty turns on the intercom and says, "Good morning, Gray. I hope you've had a chance to think about your actions from yesterday." Gray looks up with an inscrutable expression. "Isn't that what I'm here for?" "You're here to get better," Misty notes, and glances down at their tablet. "Dr. O thinks you're regressing." Gray kind of chuckles at that. Seems like she should be here to tell me that herself. I mean, you're just a postdoc, right? Misty's tone turns frosty as they say, "I still have the title of doctor, as the designation of postdoc would indicate." But then their voice softens. "We're just concerned about you, Gray. Touching Casey without permission, fighting and seriously injuring another patient. You were doing so well. And then of course, there's what happened the other night." Gray doesn't take the bait. He looks off to the side, leg bouncing restlessly, and shrugs one shoulder. "I have no idea what you're talking about, Misty. What do you want?" They're quiet for a moment before they ask the question they came here to ask. "Gray, what is Casey planning?" And Gray stills. Leg no longer moving, fingers no longer tapping, now looking anywhere but at Misty. He just quietly says, "You really think Casey shares his plans with me?" Misty stares at him for a long moment, and when it is abundantly clear that they have nothing more to offer, Misty sighs. "It's up to you, Gray. We can do this the easy way, or we can do this the hard way. You tell us what your boyfriend's planning. Maybe the two of you get out of isolation here sooner. You wait. Well," and they let that word trail off ominously. Gray's response is bitter. "Threaten me all you want, Misty. I can't tell you something I don't know." But there's a tremble to his lower lip, and they swallow nervously as Misty surveys him for a few moments longer, and then without another word, continues on their way down the hall to the third room with the red light, a room that is several down from Gray's room. Inside of that room, Casey is pacing back and forth, and his head snaps up the moment Misty comes into view as they activate the intercom. And even before they have a chance to say anything, Casey is asking, "How is he? How is Gray?" Misty responds perfectly calmly, as well as can be expected. And they look down at their tablet as though they're checking the notes on Gray, though they typed nothing while they were standing by Gray's room. But Casey, we both know this is unnecessary. All you need to do is take responsibility for what you did to Valen. Explain to us why you did it. Kid mouthed off. Everyone saw him do it. Told me that I better keep my dog on a leash. You know I don't tolerate anyone talking about Gray like that. So I taught him a lesson. Over a day later, Misty asks skeptically, "It's not like you, Casey." And Casey chuckles at that and leans against the door, one arm braced on the side of the window, his face taking up the entirety of the pane of, well, not glass, but close enough. And he smirks. Isn't it, though? Haven't I repeatedly shown you just how patient I can be? You don't leave a whole bunch of bodies in your wake by being impulsive. And Misty is quiet for a moment. Casey, how long do you think Gray can handle this? Being cut off from you? Furthermore, how long do you think you can handle this? Because however long you can, Gray's only going to be able to handle a fraction of that time. You of all people know how broken he is. Don't you dare fucking talk about them like that. Don't you fucking talk like that, Misty. Casey takes in a ragged breath, trying to compose himself. Gray's gonna be fine. I'm gonna be fine. We told you what happened. It's up to you whether you believe us or not. Misty considers that, then sighs heavily, clearly disappointed. All right, the two of you are making your choice. They step away, but not before leaving their final words. Dr. Foxglove will reevaluate you both in a week. As of right now, it is our clinical determination that you and Gray remain in ISO, completely separated, for the entirety of that time. No touching, no talking. You clearly cannot be trusted to be together, and the privileges that we've given you thus far have been too much. We'll see if the two of you demonstrate a willingness to respect appropriate boundaries, or if we have to keep the two of you separated indefinitely. Casey bangs on the window, but Misty is already gone, and there's no intercom for anyone to hear him yell, "That's bullshit, Misty. That's fucking bullshit." And he kicks the door to no effect. None of his usual super strength shown in that action. Then, clearly frustrated but with nowhere to go, he settles down on the floor and presses his hand against the wall. And were we in the room, we'd hear him quietly say, "It's going to be all right, Gray. Just hang on. It's just a week." And as we move through ISO, back towards the entrance to the ward, we pause on the window to Gray's room, and we see them pressing his hand to the wall as well, as though they can feel Casey, despite the distance between them. Their eyes are closed, and he's quietly saying something to himself. A litany of names and dates. But for right now, we don't catch any of them. And with that, we move on to the ward itself. It is a new day dawning at Hemlock Recovery Center. Following the altercation between Valen, Gray, and Casey, you all were returned to your rooms, meals brought to you, and essentially in lockdown, though a different sort of lockdown than the last one. There were no active threats, simply the staff thinking there was too much volatility on the unit to allow you to interact in any way, shape, or form. Hope that things would cool down if you had most of the day and a night to get some sleep. But this morning, the doors to your rooms open. You are welcomed to step out and start getting ready for the day. And those of you who are not Mara would see a familiar form being returned to the unit as Onyx is escorted back.
Scylla
any
kind
of you-
of was seeing Onyx. Scylla kind of bounce out of her room and then stop short because boundaries, and just kind of waves and then signs. Her sign language is not very good because she's still learning, but just signs, "Hi, missed you, hug."
And Onyx just nods and opens their arms so that you can give them a hug.
Scylla gives them
Them.
a very big squeeze, as big as she can, which is not much because she's little, but for her it is a very big squeeze.
As they pull back from the hug, they're studying you intensely and sign, "What happened to your hair?"
I don't know. Oh, sorry. She's trying to remember how to sign "I don't know." And just kind of signs "no" and shrugs. Like as in KNOW. Just like,
And they stare at you for a long moment and then just slowly nod and sign, "Seems like I have a lot to catch up on."
yes, she signs yes, new face. And points it towards Mara's room. Signs very cool.
And I think Onyx does pause before continuing on their way to their room to ask you, "What's the new face's name?"
It takes her a few seconds to remember the right way to sign it, but signs Mara.
And Onyx nods, tells you that they'll see you in group therapy later, maybe at food before then, and heads off unless they are intercepted by anyone else.
No, Connor's still in his room.
What is Connor what is Connor doing in his room?
Connor's meditating. One of the techniques that Dr. Oleander taught him, just to keep himself calm. And he's been doing that pretty much since yesterday. Like, probably fell asleep in the position, um, and still probably had some things, you know, knuckles, white knuckles. Well, one of them is still made of obsidian, so that's weird and strange.
And I mean, by weird and strange, you mean fine.
Nope. That's not what I mean at all. It's not fine. Um, Also, I think um, at some point, Connor took probably like either his pencil or something and just marked the wall. One.
It is a very specific question, but I am curious. At what point did he do that?
Um, Before sleep. Like right before bed. Like it was after he had done some meditation. It was like, he just to test some things, check on it in the morning.
The mark is still there.
Okay.
And I will also just make note because it would stand out to all of you. After the event that was erased, you all felt strange when you tried to think back to what happened that afternoon and evening. You do not feel that way about anything that happened yesterday. You remember the entire conversation, the multiple conversations that happened in the morning. You remember seeing Casey and Gray go after Valen. You remember being brought to your rooms and having meals then brought to you because you were not allowed out. And so there is a definite difference when you wake up this morning that nothing feels cloudy. It all feels very clear.
Is that the case for the memory I got back? Does that still feel cloudy, or is that like the one clear spot in the middle of the cloudiness?
From the memory that you got back from the hours that were missing, that feels clear. Everything around it feels cloudy.
Thank you.
I am going to ask, well, no, I think I'll see if this comes out in RP rather than ask you to share this cue. I am curious. I'll come back to that in a moment. I first want to know what Elle and Mara are doing this morning.
Yo, what the fuck?
I
No,
was processing things in
danger.
real time. Don't worry about it.
But now I think we're all worried about it now. But okay. Elle was probably up pretty like before the doors opened, at least like doing a little bit of like physical exercise as much as you can do in your room, like just to keep up and not lose the muscle that she has already, and probably has like a routine of doing so every morning of just like push-ups, sit-ups, like if there's a that tiny ledge on the door frame of whatever slides into place, like using that to attempt pull-ups. But I don't know, that's like a finger, like not even like one finger length that you could use, but whatever. And if Onyx were to pass by the open door when it slides open, I think she would like make a dash to the door, but then hesitate to sign anything, and then just sign, "Are you okay?"
And Onyx hears you approaching and stops when they hear the footsteps coming towards them. And they just stare at you for a long moment and just shake their head.
It's good to see you, which is signed, and then if you need to talk ever, we're all here.
And I think it's pretty clear that Onyx has fewer fucks to give than usual because their response is not a whole lot of point to talking when they can see you everywhere.
Yeah, that's true, but still helps to have people. Her demeanor is definitely like a cloudy day almost. Like the sun is behind the clouds and you can see it. But after the day before with Valen and Casey and Gray and all of that, and then the day prior, which they don't really remember, but the dreams she had or remembers that she had, parts of it, uh, she's just not feeling herself. But she's not going to press anymore with Onyx, and then would sign before saying goodbye. See you at breakfast? Question mark.
I think even before you have a chance to say that part about seeing them at breakfast and asking in that way if they'll be there, they sign thank you for the offer to talk. And then stop and stare at you. And a bit more cautiously sign, are you okay?
Immediately realizing her demeanor, automatic switch to brighter, intentionally masking. Of course, why would you ask that? I'm fine.
And I'll let you tell me, Elsie, how much of what Onyx says next Elle understands. Because that does not fool them. And they sign back, you don't have to do that. You don't have to pretend that the darkness isn't there. We've all got some darkness in us. Sometimes it weighs heavier than others, but I'm not afraid of it. I live in the darkness.
There is a millisecond crack in that mask before she seals it right back up and says, "Thank you for your words of encouragement. I'm fine, I promise. The darkness doesn't bother me. I'll be okay."
And
Not
they
a
sign,
single illusion or acknowledgement of what she's talking about metaphorically, physically, or mentally.
absolutely. And Onyx responds with, don't lie to me. I can see that you're terrified. Have a good day, Elle. And just continues walking.
Wow, Onyx, damn. Okay, okay. All right, JT. All right, JT. Okay. There's, she's gonna go and just like probably stand in the shower for a good 30 minutes to an hour and just dissociate after that. Not a normal morning routine, but I think this is not a normal morning.
That is a very fair response. So we've got Elle dissociating in the shower. We've got Connor meditating in his room. We've got Scylla, where we paused on her in the hallway. Where do we find Mara?
Mara in the morning is going to, once she wakes up again, going to go around her room, double and triple and quadruple checking, to see if she moved anything during her sleep, to see if her powers flared up, with the knowledge that it probably didn't, but has to check. And she is going to, after however long it takes for her to feel confident enough in that, is going to try and make her way to the cafeteria without talking to anybody.
I am curious, Mara, because I know that you check every morning to make sure nothing has happened. Was that something Mara used to do in her dorm room as well?
Not as significantly and not as pointedly after sleep. It was a lot of checking to make sure, after she was like engrossed in something, to make sure her powers hadn't flared up. She would check, but I think this is like after the event that was erased is the first time she's really pointedly doing it a lot after sleeping.
And that makes perfect sense. And once again, everything looks normal. Nothing looks bent or changed or warped, anything like that. As we talked about last time, it's very clear because there's so little furniture, but it does not look like your powers activated during the night.
Okay. And then lastly, the sketchbook I got from Connor. She is going to open that to the first page, make sure the drawing is normal and the same as she remembers it, and then is going to put it leaned up against the wall in such a way that is not going to fall over, but if something really tried, it could knock it over.
Okay. I can definitely hear we are getting to a point of, leaving strands of hair to see if like doors are opened or moved, and that is a very fair level of paranoia for everyone to have.
I don't think for Mario it's even about like the staff or anything. I think it's just like making sure that she hasn't done her powers when she hasn't noticed.
And that is very fair. Mara, what do your powers feel like on any given day?
Um, well, ideally nothing. Ideally, they don't feel like much. Um, but if it goes off, it's like I it's like a roller coaster, where your stomach drops a little bit. But and it's like that feeling. A lot of people say like, "Oh, my stomach dropped," but this time it's like very literal in the sense that you're under the force of more gravity. And I think she can feel that before other people, just because it's happened so often. But yeah.
And I think with that, Mara, something that you're noticing, and it's hard to say if it's since what happened in the lab at your school or whether it is since the night that you don't really remember. You feel the weight of gravity on you at all times. It's almost like blanket sounds too cozy and comforting, and I don't think that is how it feels to you. But it is this ever present awareness of the gravity in the space surrounding you and the pressure that it exerts on your body, just resting on you. Not to an overwhelming degree, but in a way that can't be ignored the way you used to ignore it.
In that case, Mara, more quickly and more pointedly, not talking to anybody, makes her way to the cafeteria.
Scylla waves at Mara, but remembers the conversation between Mara and Ellie the other day at breakfast and does not approach because it's like, she's new, she needs space, but just waves.
Mara does and keeps walking.
That was more than Scylla expected, so Scylla is quite happy.
Scylla, I did want to circle back to you.
Yeah.
Do you head straight to the cafeteria, or do you collect your friend Connor first?
She's going to Connor first.
Okay.
And he's still meditating. Q, does I'm sure they've talked about this before because this is probably not the first time Scylla has seen Connor meditating. Does he prefer her to just sit and wait till he's done? Or would he have told her some sort of way to get his attention that's not too abrupt as flinging and giving him a big hug and possibly scaring him?
Right. The big hug, no bueno. Would toss. However, a knock and saying his name, like the knock plus the name, will generally draw him out.
And that is what Connor hears, just the knock, and then Connor?
Hey, Scylla.
Hi. How are you feeling?
I'm at a 6 right now.
Oh,
Um,
would
I
a
was
hug
I was
make
at
that higher
a
or
9 for most
lower?
of the night.
A 9? A 9 is stressed,
Angry.
angry. Thank you. Angry.
Hmm.
Would a hug keep it at a 6 or bring it to a 5 or make it a 7?
I could go for a hug right now.
Yay! And she will just scramble over and just big, tight hug. Just like, I was
Yeah,
worried
there's
about
just
you.
yeah, big hug. Casey and Gray made me very angry.
Yeah, that was scary. I was really impressed that you kept yourself together. That was a lot. You did really good. I'm sorry you're still struggling, though.
It's okay. I wasn't pushed too far past the edge. It all happened so fast. I didn't get up to really angry. I didn't get up
Yeah,
to 10.
that's good. Avoiding a 10 is a really good progress.
Right.
Is it okay if I
I'm
ask?
hungry.
Yeah, I'm hungry too. Is it okay if I ask about the night that everything is fuzzy, or would that be an after breakfast conversation?
Can you ask and then I answer after breakfast?
Yes.
Okay. Give me some time to think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. Go ahead.
Do you remember anything that happened since that night?
I
It
remember
doesn't feel
yesterday.
cloudy. Mhm.
I remember yesterday. I remember all of yesterday. But from the night before, not really. Um, King said that he wasn't here, but I don't know that I believe him.
Why would he lie? I'm not saying I don't believe you. I'm just wondering why he would lie about that.
Maybe they were told to.
Oh. Scylla just kind of hugs him a little tighter and just kind of leans into his ear, and it's just like, I remembered something.
Do you want to tell me, or should we wait?
If you're ready, I can tell you now.
I mean, we're here.
I remember that there was something dark with lots of teeth, and you were facing it, and you were so scared you were crying, and Ellie was just frozen.
I was scared.
Your face looked scared but sad. You couldn't stop crying. I don't know why.
Hey, JD,
Hmm.
does that tickle any memories?
It does. It does, Connor. You hear Scylla say that, and your immediate reaction, I would imagine, is disbelief, confusion. What could she be talking about? What
Mhm.
could have made you have that reaction? And what you see is less cohesive and coherent than what Scylla saw. You just see flashes. You see that darkness with too many rows of teeth. You see that image of Riot that you saw. You see that same flickering you were seeing around your arm when you tried to look back, but now it's not flickering. Now you can clearly see one moment my arm looked like it did before, the next it was changed. And you feel a coldness inside that obsidian arm.
I think what I remember is real because it's the only memory of that day that doesn't feel fuzzy.
Oh,
Are you still at a 6? Okay. I'm sorry if that made you sad again, but with what you said about King and them maybe telling him, not telling him to lie, maybe it's because they don't want us to remember for some reason.
in the flashes of memory, do I see my arm without the chip in it?
I'll say that you do. I'll say that you do because it's at that moment that it transformed and there was no chip at that time.
A part of my arm is missing.
Oh no! Does it hurt?
Oh. This wasn't like that when my arm transformed, though.
You remember it transformed?
Yeah. I don't clearly remember everything, but I know I think I punched the darkness with too many teeth.
That's so brave and really cool, Connor.
Um,
And that's why your arm is that black stone now?
yeah. And it showed me something from my past, which is why I was sad.
Another big hug.
That he will hug you again. But the chip wasn't in it, wasn't there when I transformed, but it was there in the morning yesterday.
So someone took a piece of your arm?
I
That's
guess so.
gross. Who would steal a piece of someone's arm?
Or maybe I gave it.
To the doctors?
Maybe.
To King?
If he was here, but I don't want to call and ask.
Well, if they told him to lie, then you calling and asking wouldn't really get you anywhere.
Right. Um, I think we should do food.
Yes. I don't remember seeing Mara or Valen. Should we tell Ellie after breakfast?
Yeah, I think we should tell Mara too.
Okay.
And we need to go check on Valen.
Mm-hmm. Let's get breakfast. I know it's probably not a pancake day, but it'd be really nice if it was pancakes again because we had 2 lockdowns in a row.
No, that would say they'd be rewarding bad behavior.
Or making us
oatmeal
feel
day.
better. It's oatmeal day?
Mm-hmm.
Do they put out brown sugar?
Mm-mm.
No.
Fuck you. This is the worst day.
I'm so upset.
Is there fruit?
Oh,
It's
God,
just plain ass oatmeal unflavored? Did they put out fucking cream of wheat too since we're going bland today? What the fuck is this shit?
I mean, sure, why
Malt
not? It's the
oatmeal.
punishment
Wow.
oatmeal.
Why are we being punished? Stilla is not happy. It's so mushy, it is not a good bite feel.
I am so upset. This is
is
uncalled for.
a disappointment.
I did threaten someone, so I suppose that's fair. I suppose I deserve it.
I mean, you wouldn't have had to threaten anyone if no one acted a fool, so. Just angrily biting the spoon every time she eats the oatmeal, just to make a point.
I feel like that spoon is just like dented and bent by
Oh
the
yeah,
time
it's
you're
teeth
done with it.
marks. Yeah, it's like bent in half, just because it's oatmeal day.
Hey,
Yeah, I don't think Connor eats. Sorry.
Oh no, go ahead.
Yeah, I think Connor gets a mouthful and is like, "This is the saddest day."
Do they give us sugar for coffee or tea? JD, do they give us tea?
You are allowed 1 cup of
One.
coffee or tea.
With sugar, they have packets of sugar in a bowl.
They hand it
get a-
out. Yep.
Oh, they ration the sugar. You got me.
Fuck off!
This is the angriest the cast has ever been at me.
Oatmeal
for anything.
with nothing!
Oatmeal is bad stim. It's bad stim. Unless you can put stuff in it. It's just
Not even a
goop.
fucking orange to add, or an apple to chop up and add in there. Nothing.
This isn't healthy. This is not. This
Thank you.
listen. This is
Big
okay. You know
mad.
what? I'm okay. No, I'm fine. No, this is literally fine.
This is literally. This place was bad enough. It didn't need to get worse.
It sure was. And Elle, speaking of that, how was the dissociating in the shower?
Dissociating shower turned into very thoughtful shower. Still crying. Lots of crying. There was a good at least 30 minutes of crying while dissociation turned into hardcore thought. And what Onyx said is fair. Because no one has acknowledged the darkness in any other way than take accountability for what you did, including not giving her any answers as to where it came from. But yet he seems to have some idea of something. There's no way that he was referring to it as like, a metaphorical darkness. He like deals with the darkness every day, right? So she wants to talk to Onyx and has decided to, against her better judgment mentally, has, rallied herself to go be honest with someone about this and has a mission now. Hopefully he'll go to breakfast. We'll see. So as soon as she got out of the shower, it was like right back to morning routine where she left off. So it's just like nothing happened. It was fine. There's no redness under her eyes. I have allergies. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Lots of lying to herself and God. And then went to the cafeteria. I do need to know, Q, did Connor bring his sketchbook to breakfast?
Obviously.
Okay. Then as soon as I approach the table that has a very valid little cloud of depression over it because it's oatmeal day, JD will not sit down but say, hello, how is everybody doing this morning?
It's oatmeal day.
Oatmeal day. That's
Great. Oatmeal day, not my favorite. Other than oatmeal day, after yesterday, how's everybody doing? There's like also like a sideways like look over to Mara, wherever Mara is sitting, to make sure everyone is being included in this conversation because everyone is important here. Everybody is my friend.
I don't know how, real quick, sorry. I don't know how many tables there are, or anything. Mara is for sure as far away from most people as possibly, like mathematically optimal, like maximizing distance between her and others.
Analyze the room. That one.
That is, I mean, very possible since there are, I just need to make sure I'm counting people accurately. There are 7 of you currently on the unit, and there are way more tables and chairs in the room than that. There are at least 5 tables, and there are a good 5 to 7 chairs at each one. You're encouraged to spread out since that's less likely to lead to a fight in the middle of the cafeteria and someone getting thrown through a table. We don't need that to happen again. So if you're trying to include Mara, you are like looking across the room where she is sitting.
Yeah, eye contact is made.
Connor would have waved to Mara when he came in.
Mara would do a similar like nod that she gave to Scylla, but definitely like, hey.
Okay. Okay. Ellie, we should let her have some time.
Yeah. No,
It's,
Mark can sit over there. That's fine.
you said that like it's not fine.
No, no, Connor, it is really fine. JD, is Onyx in the room?
As you are having this conversation, Onyx does walk in. They kind of stop and survey the room, taking into account where everyone is. At this point, I'm imagining the three of you, Elle, Connor, and Scylla, are kind of clustered together. Bridget and Lucian, as often, are off by themselves at separate tables. This time, not with Gray or Casey with them, though they do not seem to mind the fact that they are solo. And Mara, of course, has her own table away from everyone as well. So Onyx just kind of looks at this and tries to figure out where they're going to go.
Okay. Okay. Everybody awkward wave at Onyx. Onyx
Still
awkward
not
wave back.
awkward.
It's like,
I said it wasn't awkward. That was genuine. Hi.
I don't know. I don't know.
We didn't need a
Maybe.
dissociation shower today, so maybe it was just awkward for Ellie.
What the fuck? God.
I mean, I just meditated. You're the one just went on commercial break in the shower.
It's still resetting in there. It's still resetting. That's all.
Look,
Buffeting
sometimes you have to
you.
like watch HGTV in your head for 30 minutes and not think about anything.
Yes.
I don't have to
Okay.
commit any murders. Y'all are committing them to each other.
I'm a gerbil instructor, and my husband collects seashells by the seashore.
Call now for your free stamp collection. Okay. Yeah, no. Again, I'm fine. It's fine. Everyone can sit where they want.
But
Would you? Yes.
but
Oh, well, I have a lot after everything that's, been going on these last 3 months that I've been here, and yesterday it was a lot. I was just wondering, could I borrow a piece of paper and a pencil just to I really want to get my thoughts out this morning.
oh yeah, sure. And he'll rip out a piece of paper, hand you one of his extra pencils.
As I am reaching for it, JD, I want to knock over a cup of water in the opposite direction of the paper and pencil. And then scramble to clean it up.
Are you using telekinesis to help with this?
I am using telekinesis to write on the paper while I'm cleaning up the water.
Roll to unleash your powers.
Okay.
Let's go.
That is what now?
That is
Freak?
going
Is
to be
freak.
with Freak.
Okay. All right. I was rolling really well during my last game of 2d6 games, so we'll see. Okay. That's a 5, so no.
Ooh, still resetting.
That's a no. Wait.
Okay.
No, I don't have inspiration. Do I have inspiration? No.
It doesn't exist in this game.
Okay, well, I was maybe manifesting it, JD. Maybe you had forgotten that it existed, and you'd be like, yeah, you have that.
Okay.
We get team, but we only get team once we're a team and we have a captain.
Look, I'm just saying.
And team wouldn't help you because that would just be a 6.
It's to be 6, right? 5's not gonna cut it there, gang.
Shit.
Ellie, I think this actually makes a lot of sense because
Oh no.
you are trying to cause a distraction. And I mean, you do. You knock over the glass of water. It probably somewhat panics Connor just because now there is water in closer proximity to his sketchbook than he would want. And so I'm going to leave it up to Connor and Scylla if they notice this, but Mara certainly does. You know, Elle, you've been thinking a lot about that darkness inside of you.
Mhm.
I'm just going to ask. I know we talked about this in session 0, but we haven't talked as much about this on air. When you use telekinesis, what does that look like? And more importantly, what does that feel like?
So similar to when she absorbs a power, it's like a shocking jolt of electricity kind of felt only to her, and like a little bit of like tingling at the fingertips or wherever. Well, telekinesis is from the fingertips, but like if she were to brush against someone, it'd be like a tingling in that area, like a shoulder brush, whatever. And then a small like glowing, like almost not spark. There's no spark, but it looks like a little flash of light, almost like a very muted flash of light, depending on how strong the action was at her fingertips.
The thing is, this time it's not a spark of light. It is darkness.
Oh god, fucking.
And it's a flash that, again, Connor and Scylla might be a little too distracted to notice. But your eyes go completely black. For about 5 seconds. And I need to know, what were you trying to draw with the telekinesis?
I was trying to write a message to Onyx saying, how can we talk without them seeing? Or where?
Mara, you again certainly notice this, and I'll leave it to the others. What's appearing on that paper isn't a message, it's a drawing. You can tell there is way too much shading on it to just be words. Ellie, when do you look at the paper?
So immediately she went to clean up the mess. But in doing so, I think the gloves she was wearing got wet. So she took them off. And the moment she saw the darkness instead of the glowing fingertips, I think she like, are they chairs or are they benches attached to the table? Like, what kind of situation of a seating do we have here?
We're talking benches, yeah.
Benches. Okay. She nearly like, well, she was standing on the other side of the bench, so she didn't eat shit. So that's a win for her, I guess. But there she stumbles backwards and like just looks at her hand and like shakes it, like go away, like go away, go away. Clenches her fist, and then as soon as she realizes that it's shading and not words, that's when she would notice it. And I think that like immediately, at least I don't know if it would still keep going, but her hold on the pencil voluntarily would stop.
It keeps going. You release that hold on it, and at this point, there is no way none of you are not witnessing what is happening. You see Elle step back, and her eyes are no longer the black that they were for those few seconds, but her hands are shrouded in what looks like shadow. And you see that pencil moving across that page in a way that nobody appears to be controlling.
I think Connor, when the glass started with the cup, let's be real, when the cup started to fall, immediately lifted up the sketchbook. The paper being like the one sheet being wet is fine, but the sketchbook he protects. Um, so he misses the eyes going black until like the very last second, and then they're back. But then seeing Ellie stepping back and the pen, like the pencil still going, I think he is going to try and pull her out of whatever is happening. Like, does she have like 1,000 yard stare? Like she's not all there, or is she
No,
just sort of
she's
aghast?
she's aware of what's happening and the darkness on her fingertips. I think she's like more freaked out by that, and there's like a quickness to her breath, like definitely not hyperventilating, but like this isn't me, like this isn't
Ellie,
me, like
Ellie, it's coming from you,
I'm not doing that. I stopped.
but you need to control it.
I'm not doing this.
But it's still coming from you, so you need to take control of it.
How?
Find it inside.
Like her hands are trembling,
Breathe.
but she would follow Connor's instructions and like take a long shaky breath in, and her fists would clench into and try to find whatever's causing this inside internally.
Okay. I think he's going to just sort of take you by the shoulders. So no skin to skin contact. And he's going to look at you just eye to eye. You're strong enough. You can do this.
Okay.
It's yours. You can fight it.
Okay.
Okay.
And JD, do I find a way to cease this? Like, where is it coming from? Is it me? Can I actually stop this?
So I have a question for you.
Okay.
And I'm going to let you help me make this determination because I am
Oh.
curious.
Oh no.
Fucked, boo-boo, yeah.
I mean, you've felt this, Elle, since the night that you went after Cataclysm and things went catastrophically wrong. You felt what sometimes feels like it's building to like an internal eclipse, that darkness is just there, ready to cover the sunlight that is usually inside of you. How willing are you to actually lean into that and accept that it is yours?
Right now,
Mm-hmm.
25%. I think that she views it as a parasite and that it is not hers,
Mm-hmm.
and that it is there with her, but it is, she's not, this isn't me. This is something that is not allowed to be here, and I need to get rid of it. And that's why she was going to talk to Onyx. It is acknowledged that it is now there, but it is not hers, no.
And so, Connor, you are doing everything right. I mean, you are in fact using all of the skills you've learned to help Elle in this moment. You are communicating to her what she needs to hear, and it isn't that your message is in any way wrong, it is that she is not ready to hear it. And so the pencil keeps going. Elle's hands keep, you're realizing it is almost glowing, even though the energy is dark. It is it is living, it is alive, it is moving. It wants to be able to go further. And I think Connor, you of all people would realize, and I think Mara, you would realize this is a very combustible situation and things could be about to go nuclear.
Mm-hmm.
Connor,
Yeah.
talking her through things isn't going to work. Elle, please stand in the corner. Everybody else leave.
Yeah, she's not ready to take it yet. Can I try and stop the pencil?
Syl will take the paper away from it.
And like move away, because
Yeah.
clearly Mara wants to do some things.
I'm going to ask you both to make a roll I would not usually ask you to make, but I think it tracks.
What?
I would like for both of you to directly engage a threat and roll with danger.
Fuck?
Boof.
What
Boof.
It's a pencil? Okay.
Boof.
It's an evil pencil.
That is an 8 total for me.
I got an 11.
I got an 8 as well. What's that?
With the we're playing a little hard and fast and loose with the rules here. So for the two of you who are tackling the paper, I think a combination of an 11 and an 8 is enough to separate those items and break that hold. And in fact, I think for you, Connor, I don't know if you mean to, but I think you reach out with that obsidian hand. And when it comes into contact, it seems to neutralize whatever is happening right there.
Okay.
So the two of you are able to stop that process. And I would imagine you both get a brief glimpse at what is on that paper.
I mean, I'm taking it with me, so.
You'll have a chance to look at it more closely, but you get the immediate impression of it looks like a tunnel with darkness all around the edges, the light shining through, and a figure standing there with horns rising up from their head,
Hey, scusi?
backlit by the light. And I think that is where we're going to take our break, and we're going to come back to see what happens between Mara and Elle and how this 8 that Mara rolled plays out as we attempt to de-escalate a volatile situation.
Oh boy.
But don't go anywhere. We're having a lot of fun, and we will be back in 10 minutes.
go.
Cool.
Thanks,
I'm
Violet.
is back live on that.
It's gone. Yep.
So,
I just don't understand why you've done so much damage to me tonight already. You've got to do that.
I think it's the dice's fault. So like,
I'm
that
gonna blame
roll.
D till the day I die, which may be in a few minutes. So
listen, I think most of the damage that you've done, Elsie, has been to yourself by yourself.
you know, JD, there's this thing called accountability.
Mhm.
I think we should have a discussion about it.
Mm. Are you going to hold me accountable for rolling a 5?
Oh.
Okay. All right. Point taken. Carry on.
You chose to have a dissociation shower.
Yeah, and clearly it didn't help. So
Clearly.
Clearly.
Not on top of oatmeal day.
yeah, you know what? Let's not blame the shower. We're gonna blame oatmeal day, which was
Yeah.
your fault.
That is my fault, and
Yeah.
I will take accountability for that.
Thank you.
Not
I,
even.
I can't take accountability for the fact that your dice hate you. I'm sorry.
I really don't know what I did.
Did you put them out during the eclipse?
No,
Yeah.
I was on my roof looking at the sun.
Okay. Well, they felt left out.
I was
so-
trying to get powers. I waited 17 years for this.
I know this, and I love you.
Cute. And my vision is
Anyways.
still fine.
Yay!
Well, I'll see. Speaking of vision and sights, you were wondering about what this horned figure looked like.
Like what were those horns? Like
Mhm.
antler.
You're right. I did
ram?
misspeak when I described them. We are talking antlers.
Oh,
Ooh.
I feel like that's worse.
That is, it's
Mm.
definitely up there.
We are talking a full rack of antlers.
A full
Okay.
rack?
Coming from
How
this
many
figure's
points?
head.
How many
How
points?
many points?
Yep.
9.
Mm.
Okay.
Is it like
Okay, so we got that upper body strength. Okay.
I'm gonna keep this thought to myself.
I would love to hear it, Elsie.
It's nothing, and I just feel like having a shadowy figure with antlers in a premonition type drawing is very something.
It is very
Yeah.
something, actually.
It's very something.
It sure is.
Starting to think I might
Okay.
know what that figure is. Okay.
Okay, you said something once to me, and we're gonna see if it starts happening soon. And we'll just go from there. Right now, I'm ready to die. That is also true, Mac. It does sound. I wasn't going down that. But we all know that is not my boyfriend in that show. So.
I have
Do we
so
all know
many
that?
questions.
My boyfriend
stemming
is the
from that.
railroad
Do we all
man.
know that?
My boyfriend is the railroad man.
What?
In Old Gods of
Have you-
Appalachia.
Of course he is.
Have you ever seen them in the same room?
Yes, I have. They fought before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They did fight. One of them almost died. Wait. Yeah, one of them almost died. Wait, that was Jack. Never mind. Don't stop letting me derail. Stop letting me derail.
I was just letting you acclimate to your inevitable death that is about to happen. So, that
I
was
should have rolled a new character on break. Shit.
that was me supporting you. So I am gonna lay out this scene. So Connor and Scylla, you have managed to stop this drawing that honestly seems mostly finished, but was still in progress. You are, it sounds like, following Mara's instruction to give some space and allow Mara to deal with what is happening with Elle. Mara, you gave this instruction to everyone. And you see that unsurprisingly, honestly, before you even said anything, Bridget was like, I'm out of here. I'm going for the door. I have no interest being in this room right now. I do not need to be a part of whatever is about to go down, as they usually do not want to be a part of anything that is going down, because she is potentially very close to leaving. But that's a story and a focus for a later time. So we won't worry about that right now. Onyx does not move as quickly as Bridget does. And I think even more surprisingly, neither does Lucian. Lucian, unlike Onyx, heads towards the door. But he stops right inside the entrance. And he is watching what is happening. Onyx gets to their feet, starts walking towards you. And I'm wondering, Mara, what you choose to do to directly engage the threat that is Ellie Ellison right now.
I think Mara is going to be like in kind of action mode, like both kind of telling people like, you need to leave. If anybody thinks they can do anything, talk to me. I don't know. Elle, please just get away from people, okay? You're muted.
You're muted, Elsie.
I'm muted. Yeah. Elle would, yeah. It's just like a bunch of yeah is mixed with like, I don't know what's going on. Until like she just stops talking, and she's backing up because you initially told her to go to the corner of the room. So she did start backing up slowly and at an angle to which she is also maneuvering closer to Onyx, but still going for the corner. But also there is like a look of like, we just had a conversation about this. What the fuck do you know? Like, tell me anything to do right now. Said silently through like eye move, like eye contact in so many words, but she's trying to keep cool in the best way she can, which is really hard because this is the one thing she has been terrified of happening.
Mara is, since Onyx is walking towards Elle, right?
They're sort of
Or
like
towards me. Which one?
in the space. Like
like-
I'm seeing it almost as like a triangle. Like
Yeah.
yeah.
Gotcha. Can you do anything?
And
I don't know you. I'm sorry.
and their gaze.
Just yeeted BB.
Yeah, my bed is there. She likes to the bed.
I can't see the bed in the screen.
I
It
didn't
looks
see
like
it.
you just.
I didn't see it. No way.
What she likes. She's going to bed. I don't know what to tell you.
Elsie never change.
I'm sorry, this was a serious moment.
Oh my god.
I'll take a picture. I'll show you guys. She's okay. It's not animal cruelty.
We believe you. We for sure do believe you.
I believe you. It's just so.
It was just a funny visual.
She looks kind of disgruntled in this picture. I don't know if I should send it.
That meme of the with the baby.
But that's just her face. I'm sorry.
That was incredible.
I'm so glad we caught that on footage. That moment will live on forever.
Somebody gif it.
And so we are in this essentially a bit of a standoff between Mara, L, and Onyx. Onyx is looking back and forth between you, Mara, because you're talking to them, and L. They do not look particularly afraid. And when you ask them, is there anything you can do? They nod and they go to start moving towards L. Do you stop them?
No, I don't know this person. I take the word. Maybe this has happened before, and maybe they can help.
And Onyx carefully approaches you, L, and pauses and frowns. And I don't think Mara sees this because Onyx's back is a bit more to you. But you realize, Elle, that Onyx actually is not sure they can do what they were going to do. And asks you, signs to you. What does it feel like?
When Onyx initially got closer and started making that direct path towards her, she absolutely stumbled back a few feet as a initial reaction of don't come near me, but then remembering that's the person who might be able to do something, and I asked them to come here, and Mara is do something, so maybe he can do something, they can do something, and it's just it's not a wispy darkness, right? I can still use my hands, and you can see definitive movement. I think in this state she's only really capable of saying totality and hungry. Just 2 words.
And I'm just going to clarify for the purpose of whether or not Mara hears this. Do you say it out loud or do you only sign it?
Only sign it.
Okay. Then Onyx looks back at you, Mara, and starts signing to you. Do you know sign language?
She never would. What? Do you know what they're saying? I can't. Is it Connor?
What are they saying?
They're repeating the words that Elle used. So they are
Okay.
saying totality and hungry.
Totality and hungry.
What do you mean totality and hungry?
I mean, I know it's oatmeal day, but
So actually, what do you mean totality and hungry?
Ellie.
I feel like it's all of me. There's no light. And it's hungry.
do you know what it's hungry for?
No.
Okay.
Onyx, do you still think you can do anything or no?
And Connor, of course, you can translate this, but Onyx signs. I'm not sure. she absorbs power. I'm infected too.
What?
I Connor will Connor starts to translate and then slows down at the I'm infected too.
I thought
Ellie, what does that mean?
Mara starts backing up.
This looks as much of a surprise and like a first time hearing it to Ellie, if not more, because her face is just like, what the fuck? And like looking at her hands and like looking up and then looking to you and being like, I don't know.
Connor's going to sign to Onyx. What do you mean infected?
I mean that the darkness is inside of me too. I'm just more used to carrying it.
those
Is it
your
the same darkness?
And they pause and tilt their head to the side and stare at Elle for a long moment before saying, well, signing, it's adjacent.
Adjacent. Okay. So not disease infected.
I don't know what it's called when you were not born with it, but it lives inside of you and has made its home there.
If it's if it helps you, it's a symbiote. If it's bad, it's a parasite.
And there's like a long moment where Onyx processes this and then signs. That may be more to unpack than we have time for.
Ellie, think of the sun. Like, what would it feel like if the sun, like, if you were lying out in the sun and you could feel it on your skin? Maybe if you remember what that's like, it'll help you feel like yourself again.
She'll try anything at this point and would like close her eyes after looking at Onyx one more time and then to Connor one more time and to Mara one more time and just like, okay, I guess. Because that is one of her, I would say, favorite pastimes was that. And so she would close her eyes, take a deep breath like Connor instructed, and just start breathing shakily but deeply as much as she can, thinking about warmth, sunlight, like the way it reflects on water and the way the grass moves in the wind, and trying so hard not to have any thought or anxiety about this darkness that she knows is there and apparently living inside of her, that is an infection of some sort, which is hard and probably stumbles through that like daydream a couple of times. Like it 100% fails to fully force that idea of darkness from her thoughts, but like maybe the fourth or fifth try or breath, I guess, is able to just focus on that.
And while your eyes are closed, Elle, Onyx looks to Connor and Scylla, and they look really sad and just sign, I wish Noah was here. he would have been perfect in this moment.
Yeah.
He would have been really good.
And they start to sign something else. And all you catch are the words, I wonder if. And then they stop and just lower their hands back to their side. And intentionally do not look anywhere there are cameras placed around the cafeteria. Ellie, you are imagining this sunlight warming your skin, brushing away that cold, taking away that iciness that you're now realizing has been creeping into your hands and moving up your arms. That chill that lives inside of you, that's been wanting a chance to be let out in this way, that is hungry for something you don't know. But you feel that warmth building, almost like there is a radiator starting to glow in your chest, brushing away that cold. And that light brightens and brightens and brightens. And you hear the sound of birds. You hear the sound of wind. And as that light reaches its peak, you shield your eyes. You hide from those sun after images. And it dims. And you hear footsteps echoing across stone. And I don't think you mean to react, but you can't help yourself. You turn and look. And you see the reflection of the image that you just drew. Because you are standing outside of the tunnel and you can't make out any feature of it. It is made of stone. It is incredibly old. There are vines and other elemental matter taking it over, taking it back. And there is a figure just outlined in darkness with a rack of antlers. And they say your name. And it echoes all around you, reflected back at you again and again and again. And then you're back in the cafeteria. And don't worry about it. And everyone is staring at you. From your perspective, not a whole lot changed. Ellie started to glow a bit, just a bit, but it was a warm light. It was in some ways not unlike the light of Noah. And it burned away those shadows that were clinging to her. Ellie, would you mind describing the necklace that you wear?
What?
Oh, uh, mm,
Hmm?
yeah. So it is like it's on like a simple chain. Usually it's like tucked in, to the jumpsuit. So like it's not out all the time, but it's not like she makes an effort to hide it. So it's not, like it's contraband or whatever. But it's like a little. Well, I can't make it because my hands don't do that shape. But it's like the triangle, a diamond on its side, horizontal, whatever, and it's made of snowflake obsidian, and it's yeah, it's like it's not large. It's just pretty average size, like this little pendant thing. Yeah.
You will see that necklace kind of float out of the collar of Elle's jumpsuit. And you see that it is pulsing with that same golden energy that she is now emitting. And as the darkness fades away, that necklace holds onto the glow just a little bit longer. And then returns to normal, though it is warm to your touch, Elle, as you open your eyes and see the remaining people who are here staring at you.
You did it!
Think, um, thank you guys for that. I couldn't have done it without you.
I'm gonna hug her.
Okay. Yep. Thank you, Connor. The hand is like because the gloves are off now. It's just like out to the side like this, but like then realizing hugs are okay because jumpsuit. So she'll hug him back, and that feeling of the pendant, I think she would feel on her chest as it like presses against it. That's where the warmth kind of like she realizes that, and then when she pulls away, takes a deep breath and looks at every one of you again and like, I'm so sorry. I I don't know what happened. I didn't even feel it starting to happen. It just did. And it was really irresponsible of me, and I'm sorry.
It's a part of you, right?
Um Look, there's like a uncertain look to Onyx, and then I I guess so if I'm infected.
Infected. You took it in. You absorb things, right?
Don't they go
Okay.
away after you absorb them eventually?
Usually, I've never had anything stick around for longer than a day or two, and then if I want to use it again, I have to touch it again. Um I don't know where this came from. I always just assumed it came from that night, but I don't remember touching anything or anyone then. So,
I mean, do you remember all of that night? Does it feel cloudy like the other night did?
that's a good question, Steph. Does it feel cloudy or is it just not there, JD?
It's just not there.
Okay. No, not cloudy. It was I was there, and then I felt that darkness and that similar feeling of today, and then nothing, just black.
Do you think you got it from this? And Syl just kind of shows the drawing with the antlered person. That's what it drew.
There is a visceral reaction of stumbling back again from that because that is what she saw, and that is not okay. I drew that.
Well, the shadows and the pencil drew it, so I don't know if that was actually you or the thing that kind of you picked up. I can folds it shut, just seeing Ellie's reaction. Just like, do you know who that is?
Or what?
Nope. What'd you say?
I said, or what?
No, but when I closed my eyes to think of the sun, it was there.
Okay.
That's weird. Have you seen anything like that before, Mara?
This is my first time talking to other people with superpowers.
Oh, okay.
No, I haven't. I should. I'm gonna leave.
Oh, okay. You're not really having the best time acclimating here. I'm sorry. Take whatever time you need.
It's
Thank
not.
you for helping.
Hey, yeah, thanks, Scylla. It's not a matter of time. I'm. I'm like this. Uh,
Oh, okay then. Then definitely take time for yourself.
okay. Yeah. Is going to start to walk off.
Before Mara exits the room, there's another thank you called after her specifically.
I didn't really do shit, so
You helped.
You
Yeah.
stepped up. That's a really brave thing to do. It's not easy.
okay, whatever. I'm gonna go.
Bye.
And is going to walk off to the day room or wherever.
I love Mara so much. I love Mara,
Mara
so
is
fucking
incredible.
much. Fucking,
It's just like,
fucking. Okay,
I'm just like this. Yeah, sure.
built different.
That's fine.
Fucking.
Go wear that ass down. It's gonna be all right with it. It's fine. Can I? Hey, JD. There was
Yeah.
contact, and the obsidian, the snowflake obsidian, was out. Can Connor have
sure
turned
was.
into that?
Interesting.
Oh.
Not gonna lie, I've been waiting for this moment.
My cat is throwing a fit, and it is
Nancy.
at the worst possible moment for this to happen. Connor, I think I'm going to have you roll to unleash your powers.
Hell yeah. That's an 8. I couldn't do math there for a second.
Connor, I know we talked about what it is like when you touched some of the walls of Hemlock and especially realized what it was made out of was like not okay. What does it usually feel like to you when you come into contact with, we'll say, a normal piece of stone?
I think they all have different sensations. I think it's a sort of synesthesia. Like the different stones sound, taste, feel different. So I don't think he really ever knows. Like certain similar like quartzes have different vibes of the same general sensation. And like different obsidians or all of that. But I think the different types of stones are very different.
Based on his experiences, what does Connor imagine the snowflake obsidian would feel like.
I think icy hot. The speckling of the white is the crisp cold, but obsidian is made from volcanic. Right. So it's like it's that mixture of sensations, the hot and the cold sort of intermingling.
And I think that makes perfect sense. And in a lot of ways, that is what it feels like, because as it comes into contact with you, as you absorb that piece, it feels both warm and cold, but it is the heat of the sun and it is the chill of the moon. That's not the important part, though. Connor, I need to know right now, what do you fear the most?
Losing control.
As you come into contact with that piece of snowflake obsidian, you feel the burning, you feel the chill, you feel it all intermingling. And I think you instinctively close your eyes. And you realize that Elle's body, where you were just hugging her, is limp in your arms. And you look down, and her neck is broken. Her body has been crushed. And you turn, and there are bodies strewn around this room. You see Scylla, always flexible, double jointed, arms and legs and body still bent in positions that they should not be in, positions that are beyond what she could survive. You see Mara, a metal shard of one of the benches impaled through her. You see Onyx lying there, literally ripped apart. Limbs strewn around the room. And you see others. Some who have been there for a while, some who have come and gone, some of whom who have died, like Noah. Just bodies on top of bodies on top of bodies. And you look down at yourself and you are just covered in blood and gore and viscera.
Um, I think he hopes, he prays that this isn't real. Shuts his eyes again, tries to wish it away. But I think there's a small part of him in his mind that says, This is inevitable. So I think he's stuck.
And I think in that moment, Connor, as you are trying to convince yourself that this is not actually happening, as you close your eyes, that you see, that you hear a familiar step of footsteps. How did the doctor sound whenever he walked into a room?
It's uncalled for. It was a confident walk, self-assured, always purposeful without being thundering. But it's that kind of walk that you hear even though the room you're in may be loud. It's the one you feel more than you really hear it. At one point, that was a comfort. But now, it's anything but.
And I realized I didn't pin this part, Q, so I am going to ask you. How did Dr. Stewart refer to you?
You know, I don't ever think I said. First, it was Connor, my boy. But later on, it was subject one. Experiment one. Yeah, that sounds better.
And Connor, you hear those familiar footsteps and you see that familiar tall form with the silver hair walk in. And he just takes a moment and surveys the room, sees the carnage that you've left, and there's a moment where you almost wonder, is he reading my mind? Did I say this out loud? Did he say this and I take it in? Because he shakes his head and says, Experiment one. This was always inevitable.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. Um, can you fix them? Please? I didn't mean to.
They aren't toys to be pieced back together.
I know they're people. That's why you need to help them. Please.
Experiment one, you are going to have to learn that sometimes you break things too badly for anyone to fix them. And that when you do that, that is your responsibility. What would you do with them?
I don't know. I don't know. It's just, I don't know what happened. It just gets so mad. I can't stop.
You have no self-control. You have no discipline.
I try so hard every day. I try, I meditate. I take my deep breaths.
But it's not enough.
I never am.
I know, Experiment 1. That's why I had to make more of you.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
One day, maybe your apologies will be enough to fix the mess you've made. Clean this up, Experiment 1.
Yes, sir. Connor will just start picking up the bodies, picking up the pieces, tenderly. Ellie, Scylla, Mara, each one he apologizes over and over, and then just sets them down. He will literally pick up the pieces of onyx. And I think there's a moment where he tries to jigsaw them back together. But it doesn't work, obviously.
And Connor, you are looking at this grisly tableau of your failures. When you start to hear Ellie's voice saying your name, because Ellie, you have seen Connor's eyes now go black and him go unresponsive.
What's happening?
Connor? Connor? Connor?
Scylla knocks 3 times on the table. Connor!
I'm going to let her go. Did any of me change?
There is a spot on your chest which doesn't look like an imprint of the necklace. It looks like the Roman numeral 1.
Fuck off.
Hey, what the fuck, JD?
Fight. It's on sight once you step out of that office.
Damn. I'm coming through the window. You're like, fucking alright. Are the eyes still black? Like
Nope.
It was just
Connor
momentary.
outside of where Connor absorbed the stone, there is nothing different about him.
Why do you have a cursed necklace?
What?
Why do you have a cursed necklace? Who gave that to you? Is that where the
Okay.
darkness comes from?
The why do you think it's cursed?
His eyes went black and he looks as upset as he did when the the night
I
I need
with the dark.
to go. Um,
Uh-huh.
are you
I'm
okay?
sorry. No, yeah, yeah.
Do you
I'm
want me to
sorry.
walk you?
No, no, no.
Okay.
He's gonna take a sketchbook and he's going to go.
I,
Um,
okay.
I don't know how long this happened after Mara left, but if Mara was in earshot while they were saying Connor, 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 she would definitely have turned around and been listening.
I think you definitely heard all of that then, because yes, my sense is this was pretty much immediately after. And so
Gotcha.
you would have heard all of that, and you would then see Connor heading right out of the cafeteria.
Beating feet.
Gotta go fast.
Mhm.
Is the necklace still warm?
No, it seems to have quieted down now.
I wouldn't take it like in my hand and like kind of like move my finger over the stone, like trying to figure out what Scylla's talking about, because it was warm and like I noticed it, but like was that a side effect of me glowing or the darkness or what? I've never had this happen before, so why would my necklace be cursed? I don't. It's just a necklace, Scylla. I don't know why it did that. It
Where'd you get it?
it was a gift.
From your family?
No, no, not from my family. No.
From your mentor?
Oh, we're gonna have words. Harp. Yes.
What happened to Connor?
I don't know.
He he touched the necklace to try to like make his body like the necklace, but then his eyes went black and he got really upset and he said he had to go be alone, which means he's really sad and upset and scared.
I know what that means. Thanks. Why? I'm just really confused.
Me
I
too.
guess.
Me three. I don't.
Didn't happen till he touched the necklace.
Do you think it had to do with the darkness?
I think it had to do with the necklace.
Yes, I know
Well,
that, Mara. I'm saying, could the darkness have infected the necklace? It's never been a problem until now.
You were close to the darkness the other night.
I was close to the darkness today.
No,
Talking about.
the other night.
what?
Oh,
Does it feel? I don't know where to talk about it because there's. Scylla just kind of, with her eyes, gestures to where the cameras are.
what do you? There's like a moment of confusion. I don't remember the darkness, do I? I just remembered Rook being there.
Scylla kind of steps close to Ellie, not touching, of course, but kind of using Ellie as sort of a block so that her face is blocked from the cameras and just kind of leans her head forward to hide her face even more and just says, I remembered the day when it was cloudy that I got a memory back that doesn't feel cloudy. And you and Connor were standing in front of the darkness, and you were frozen, and Connor was upset, and I don't know where Valen and Mara was, but you were in front of the darkness, and the darkness had teeth. So maybe that's what touched your necklace. I don't know why we can't remember anything else, and why it's cloudy, and why it changed. But I remember that it was there, and it had teeth. And I don't know where it went. I don't remember that yet. Or ever. I don't know.
I can't hear Scylla saying this, right? This is just to L.
Steph, that's up to you.
I mean, how close is Mara?
Conversational distance. Couple
I f-
yards, maybe.
Scylla would have been keeping her voice low, but she kind of would have made a motion for Mara to come closer if Mara wanted, because
Okay.
she and Connor had said to tell them both.
Okay. Yeah, she would hear it then.
And as you're hearing that, the two of you do start to remember bits and pieces of that night. That you, Mara, have a moment of remembering when you just made that door disappear, when you were able to open that up, and you remember how sick you started feeling and how afraid you were of losing control. And Elle, you remember freezing in that moment and not knowing what to do, wanting to be that hero, but you were facing down something so much larger than you. And you're realizing something that felt disconcertingly familiar.
Okay. So it wasn't a dream?
No. I mean, when I've dreamed about it before, I didn't see the teeth before until that night. But that night was not a dream.
Why did they want us to think this was a dream then? And her thought process of that is not on why would they want us to not remember the darkness or like a threat in the facility. It is why would they want me to think having Brooke here in that moment was a dream? Why would that matter?
I don't know if it's there trying to cover a big fuck up, to use a Sloan word, or it was some sort of test.
I don't think that would be a test. I mean, I don't know what happened after, but people could have died.
Yeah.
100%. Maybe it's just trying to help. I don't know. It seems a bit misguided. I agree.
Yeah, that's not how you help.
We remember before the incident, like before the door came down. Like, do I remember what Casey and Grace said before it all went down?
You do. Yep. Everything kind of group therapy and the immediate aftermath is still fairly clear.
We need to talk to Casey and Gray.
I don't think we do.
They knew.
ISO.
They are in ISO, and I mean, I can't believe I'm the one saying this, but they know something they knew something was about to happen. It felt like before it happened.
The-
Go ahead, Stella.
well, they might not remember.
They remember. I heard them talking to Valen. They remember.
Oh, okay. That changes that. How did?
Before it all happened, I was trying to get them to go to their rooms because we were supposed to go to our rooms, and Elsie can't remember the verbiage of what went down, but it was something akin to, it's, do you think you can handle it, or something. And they felt like this was a safer option than being out there in the group therapy room, the day room.
What makes you think they'll suddenly want to talk? If I can
Yeah.
ask a question.
No, that's a valid question. I don't know that they will, but
Okay.
there's no harm in trying.
What do you mean by trying?
Trying to talk to them. I'm not going to force them to talk to me. You saw
Well,
what
I
happened to
know. No one can force them to talk to anyone.
I'm just saying you have information now, Al, right?
the information that you have, that we all have now, the same.
Do Casey and Gray have everything we have? Casey and Gray don't know what happened today.
They don't. Oh, I get it.
It was clear from seeing them, literally the first time I saw them, they're playing a game, right? It's a game. It's a game with maybe some stakes, but if you are not playing, you are a piece, Al.
What if I don't want to tell them what happened today?
Good. You bargain. You do something with it.
Trading.
Right. Okay. We play the game then. We play the game so nothing like this happens again. And we figure out what's going on with all of us.
I'll watch
Do you
your
want me to say
guys'
something?
backs. If it feels like something dangerous is about to happen, I will let you guys know.
Thank you.
There's a moment where Elle looks down at her own hands, and it's like the thought passes, and it's like, what if the danger is me? But I don't think she verbalizes that, but it's not
How
a
much
very
does that?
hidden. It's
Oh,
not a
that's just
hidden.
laid over.
It's yeah, it's not hidden that she looks down at her own hands.
Mara's just going to hold eye contact with Elle after that happens.
Like, what kind of eye contact? This is real awkward for me. No, that's not Elsie. That's Elle.
Okay.
Are you? What?
We
No, you
having
just had a
staring
good thought.
context?
That's all.
Yeah. Well, seems like quite a few of us are in here for losing control.
I would be surprised if one of us wasn't.
I'm not.
What?
I'm not. I didn't lose control. They
So-
just think I did something that I didn't do. It's really
looks
confusing
at
for me
Elle
too.
and back at Scylla.
It's really
No.
confusing for me too.
Scylla, what does that mean?
Yeah,
It means I don't remember what they think I did. I remember something different.
well, So chances are, if they can change memories now, they probably changed memories of that time, right?
So they changed my memory so I
So
didn't remember it, and then put me in here and blamed me for not remembering it. I think I saw a movie like this once.
okay.
Sort of. It was a different premise. That's
Scylla,
manipulative as fuck. Hmm?
okay. Um, I just want to throw the idea out there that you did maybe lose control and you just don't remember it.
I guess. That's possible, but
That's all.
Uh,
What?
no, they just never framed it that way. But if they're making me second guess everything, then maybe I did lose control. No one got hurt. No one was missing.
Elle looked like she was about to say something, but then Scylla said that and she didn't say anything else.
That's why it's weird.
Elle was about to be like, me too. Wait, that's weird. And they're like, but nobody got hurt and nobody's missing. Oh, all right, never mind.
Those blocks were fine.
That's okay. You and
Yeah.
Valen, I don't get. Yeah.
I don't get Valen either, but that's because I think Valen wants it that way.
Yeah, maybe.
You have a lot of good ideas.
I don't think that's really true. I just kind of make pretty easy conclusions, I feel like.
Oh, well, I mean, I guess they're easy to you because you're so smart. I know I'm not smart, so it feels like it's like really smart for you to do that.
Oh, okay.
And I think we're going to leave the three girls hypothesizing in the cafeteria and move to follow where Connor went. Where do we find Connor? No, you are muted, Q.
Sure am. I think he's making bad choices. Because I think he needs comfort, and is trying desperately to go to his happy place. Um, what kind of door is there that leads to the greenhouse?
There is a door with pretty intense security measures currently up, badge swipes, things like that. What are you wanting to do to that door?
Get in it.
How far are you willing to go to get into it?
Remember when I said making bad decisions?
I just needed to confirm.
Yeah. Yeah. I will 1000% juggernaut this hoe. Just like rear back, pia, if I have to.
What does it look like as Connor throws the full force of his strength at this door and it is opened in a way that will allow him to pass through? Is it obliterated? Is it a human-sized, well, a Connor-sized hole.
A giant sized. I think he's sort of base need. So he's not really thinking too clearly, which means the restraints on his strength are off. And so I think the door is just sort of blasted off of the frame.
I think it's not unlike when the darkness came through. That it is just shrapnel exploding out as you throw your full strength into it. You know I like to be collaborative, so I'm gonna ask Connor, what does your last memory of the garden look like?
I apologize in advance. Connor was in the garden. It was one of the days where they had the screens set to like a sunny day through the canopies of trees. So little shafts of light coming down onto bits of the garden. It's a warmth. There's a glow to the area. The flowers are in bloom, and there's just this rich earthiness to the area. Connor was sat in his corner. He was making a drawing for Noah, a sort of goodbye present for him. And had drawn all of them basically saying goodbye. It was one of the rare times where he would dabble into, cartoons. Um, so all of the people that were there, minus Mara, of course, were saying goodbye, with balloons. There was a cake. Scylla was holding the cake. There was a bite taken out of the cake, obviously. Yeah, it was good, and in his mind, perfect.
And that is the comfort that you are desperate to find on the other side of the door, that peacefulness. And instead, Connor, what you find is something wrong, something twisted. The trees and plants, so many of them look rotten and wrong, like someone tried to piece them back together, like they were blasted apart, but now it's almost like they're held together with tape, but there's no tape in sight. And I think for the amount of time you've spent in gardens and around nature, you would realize that the plants that are there, that look healthy, are all poisonous ones, threading throughout. That isn't the part that stops you in your tracks. And I am going to put in a trigger warning for reference to burning and some slightly graphic imagery. Because you see a scorch mark where Noah's body fell. And you can see the outline. And you stand there looking at this place that was where you went to find solace and peace and tranquility. And see how damaged and twisted it has become.
Okay.
And that is when the alarms start to go off. And that is where we will be picking up in 2 weeks when we return for They Call Us Villains.
We all going to ISO.
We're all going to ISO. The gang goes to
Fuck!
ISO.
Just ISO. Shit.
Hey, I provided you a distraction.
To go to ISO?
To
Sure.
go to ISO. Yeah?
Valent's
Absolutely.
already down there.
I want to protect Connor though, and then go to ISO. We can all go together like a family, a team. Oh, JD, we get the team pool now, right?
Only when everyone votes on who the leader is.
God damn it.
But if everyone wants to vote for L,
I don't think Elle wants to vote for Elle right now.
no, I feel like Mara is the person who at this point would be nominated.
Except too.
Mara would nominate herself.
Love that for you.
That
Valid,
seems
valid, and
accurate.
fair.
It's like no one's telling me what to do but me. What the fuck?
Don't worry about it. It
What
has
the fuck?
been
No,
such
that's
a
the-
normal time.
Normal?
That's not true. That's not true at all. Just gonna
You know,
lie to us to our faces.
I will lie
That's
to
what
you
the
in
doctors
your
and nurses
faces.
are already doing in this place. What the? What? Nothing good happens on oatmeal day. I think we can all agree.
Oh,
Nothing good is
yeah.
happening on oatmeal day. That's
feel like
just the wrong.
Nothing
It's
good
the
happens in
oatmeal.
Hemlock.
Let us out.
Can't argue that.
You're right. Fucking, I told you what season 2 is gonna be named. So,
What?
is the real world MTV's The Real World Hemlock?
Oh.
we are fast on our way there, and with that, as I know it is late and we also need to decompress from this episode, I'm gonna go around, let everyone remind us of who they are and the awesome things that they are doing, and then we will wrap up and find someone to raid. And so starting with you, Harp.
Hi everybody. I'm Harp. I'm Harper. I'm normal about this session. I feel like. What? You can find me on Beacons of Farlight tomorrow night at High Shelf Collective. We're right into the second season of things. Honestly, if you're picking a time to start watching it, it might be next session. Shit's about to kick off. What else? Project Reach Extraction is on Entropy Emporium. We have like 2 episodes left, but this week we're not playing because we would be missing all but 2 members of that table. So yeah, it's not happening. I don't know. I make video essays. Go to my YouTube channel. It's at Harping Harp if you want. I'm making a 2-hour long. Or it's probably more. I'm cutting out some of. I'm trimming some shit off. You know, it's probably gonna be like an hour 40 ish at this point. I don't know. That might be ambitious. It's probably like an hour 50. I don't know.
That's a whole movie.
Yeah, that kind of
Hell
sunk
yeah.
in for
Movie,
me.
Hard, goddamn.
Yeah, I was messaging
Goddamn.
one of my friends who helps me edit stuff. I'm like, yeah, okay, this was supposed to be 20 minutes when I had the idea, and it has evolved into something that
That's
I
how it
really
goes.
have to buckle in for. But it's going well. You can see me edit it live. I go like live at completely sporadic times, but if you want, you can follow me on Twitch. It's just harping. But yeah, if you ever wanted to wonder what making one is like, hey, Um, that's truly all I do ever. Um, I live in my computer. You can find me by messaging, and I'll pop out and do a little dance. Okay. Um, who's next?
And you do music, Harp,
It's
and you do music.
Yes.
But we
Oh
can also
yeah.
popcorn it to Q.
Hey, me. Hello. Hi, I'm Q. You can find me pretty much everywhere on the internet at Midnight Inc. That's midnight underscore INQ. Save a horse, ride a cowboy with a Q. Fucking will. Anyway, I did the smart dumb thing and put up all of the things that I do, and now I'm face to face with them, and I wouldn't say shame, but certainly like realization of all of the things. So on Tuesdays when I'm not here, you can find me over at Live from the Apocalypse, where I'm playing Nephilim Tenebris. It is a Rust Hulks game where I am playing the captain, Cassidy Starrunner, who's also the pilot. That's a good time. Coming up this Thursday, I will be over at Live for the Apocalypse as well for Redacted, which is another game that JD is running and fucking with my head. It's fine. This Friday, 'cause I remembered, it is table one for a third season of Secrets and Shadows. I will be playing Mr. Dorian Black. He's very excited to be back on this mortal plane after stabbing God. Uh, Saturday, once again, Live from the Apocalypse. It's like I'm over there a lot. It's weird. I will be there with Class Reunion, of which I'm going to be a permanent member of the cast. So yeah, Kira's going to be sticking around. And then on Sunday, Sunday Starcrier over on RPGs Uncovered, where I'm playing another cowboy, but it's a very different cowboy, who has been having a time. LC, I have your dice luck over there. It's bad. It's real bad. I'm at one structure. If that, no, I'm at two, but only barely.
No, you're fine. Okay, look. You can blow up like as many times as you want. Don't worry about it. I've done it like 3 times. Just don't stay in your cockpit if you're having a meltdown. That's different. Then you
Yeah,
die.
no, that's bad. That's
Somebody
bad.
was
That's
not going to
bad.
tell me that until I died. So
Gotcha,
nope.
gotcha. Also, this coming up Monday, those fingers are disrespectful. I am going to be doing a Magic the Gathering live stream. I don't remember what channel it's on, so just know that I'm doing that. I'll probably say it in one of the many things that I'm playing this next week. Good lord. Okay, that's it for me. I'm all done now.
All right, throwing it over to you, Steph.
Hi, I am Steph. I've been Scylla. She is very worried about her friends. You can find me this Thursday at Live from the Apocalypse, playing in Redacted, all 4 ghosts, baby. Let's go with the drama. We'll see how we're doing on day 2. I think we're officially on day 2-ish. Yeah, day 2, David Lynch's 24, the ghost game. And you can catch me every other Saturday in a 3rd season of Secrets and Shadows, playing Rhiannon, who has the worst dice luck in that game, which is real bad for her and her love life. See if we can save this.
I'm sure we can.
I hope. It hasn't worked yet in 3 seasons.
And speaking of dark romances, LC.
Wow.
I was dissociating and think about something else. Don't worry about it. I am LC. You can find me at Optimistics on all social media. It's above there. I think that's the wrong side. That's the wrong side. It's above there. Here we go. You can find it there. I'm not going to spell it. For the next few weeks, I'm very limited because I'm moving. So you can find me here every other Tuesday getting traumatized by JD. Don't just stop asking me where that necklace came from. Y'all already know. There's no gift receipt. And
Say it. Stand
I
10
won't.
toes in it. Say it.
I
Coward.
I feel I'm not a coward. I just feel like you guys should exercise your brains a little and just come to the conclusion yourselves. And then every Monday you can find me on what channel is that? The Lost Caravan, playing Lancer, Hell's Gate, our second season, where I play Min. Also having a great. Actually, her romance life is going a little better than this one, ironically, with the computer program in her head. They hugged. It was very sweet. It was very sad. He said, "I'm fine," and then said, "Oh yeah, I'm just dying. Pick one." And then he wouldn't tell me which one was true. So we're fine. We're at Space Vegas. It's got Space Disneyland. Anyways, that's a real fun one. Also, this weekend on the 21st on the Lost Caravan, we're playing Old Gods of Appalachia. As we had a mini conversation about that tonight. If Hoop does not give me my sexy little boyfriend, I'm going to be mad. Apparently, there is a sexy little ghost boyfriend in there. I'm going to kiss it. I forgot what his name is. All I can think of is the name of fucking Pupkin from fucking How to Sell a Haunted House, because that's the vibes it was giving. It was like a childhood like terror in the woods. So like gonna
And
Sorry, that's
when you want a
kissable?
romance. Excuse me.
I don't know yet. I don't know what it looks like. Hoop said it was baby hot, so maybe it's hot. We'll find out.
The puppet?
No, not the puppet. What in this game? The puppet was not hot. Anyways, sometimes puppets are hot though.
No!
Yeah.
No.
But we don't have time
You
to
heard
unpack
it here.
Sometimes puppets are hot. Sure.
No, puppeteers are hot. Puppets not. I redact that statement. Anyways,
I don't
and
I
think
think
that's
that
true.
made it worse.
I don't
I think that made
feel
it
like I
worse.
need to explain myself anymore, guys. I feel like it's pretty having a normal one. Then on the 26th, I think it's the 26th. I actually have to check. It's Scare LC, where you get to spend points on the Lost Caravan to do audio clips while I play a scary game. Because that was the mark checkpoint whatever goal for one of our charity streams back in Recall Week. I think I'm either playing the one where you're in the woods looking at a cult in a fire tower. I don't remember what it's called. Or Don't Scream, which is a really good one for me because I scream a lot when I play scary games. So if you want to come jump scare me to scream and make the game harder for myself in a game where you're jump scared and get screamed or do scream, I don't.
Just watched your
come-
brain stop in real time right there.
Thank you. It did. It had to reset. I was thinking about Rook again.
Oh God.
That's it for this month. That's just it. I think that's enough. I don't think anyone needs to hear me completely dig myself a deeper hole. I think I'm halfway to the center of the earth at this point. So,
For sure. All right. Last but not least, I am JD. I have been your storyteller. I can be found on the internet at JD, not Jason Dean. And because I tormented Q with this, I will acknowledge my own sins. And so every other Tuesday, I am here running this game. On Thursday, I will be running Redacted, as mentioned. On Friday, I will be running A Season of Secrets and Shadows, as mentioned. On Saturday, I will be in class reunion over on LFTA. Not sure who I will be playing in that game, but we're going to find out, and it's going to be interesting because it's not my usual non-binary horse person. Later Saturday night, because I make don't ask the question, Elsie. Don't wonder about that. It's
wait,
fine.
hold up. No. I feel like you guys gave me the nth degree. The fuck is a horse person?
Someone
They're
who really likes
not-
horses.
Yeah,
When the horse girl is non-binary instead of being a girl.
Horse person.
horse person.
I was
Not a
thinking-
centaur.
Okay.
But hey, as we established in one of the
Yes,
last
exactly.
episodes.
It's true. Hunter, what do you have in your mouth?
Me saying puppeteers are hot was a questionable statement. Your
Okay,
character eats hay.
That was unhinged. That was
And
unhinged.
eating hay
Those
is
two are not the
cute.
same.
That was funny.
They're not even on the same block.
No, you're right. It's on the second block. 2 city blocks.
2 city blocks.
Which you still hit. How are those stars looking?
Yeah. How many bodies?
The stars are on the ground.
That's
I don't know
facts.
how many
See where
bodies
the
you
bodies fall,
fucking
yeah.
Tell me the body count. Anyways, I'm sorry. Continue with your sins. Also, that'll be 10 Hail Marys and 1 Our Father at the end of this. So
In order
Yes,
for us.
Father Elsie. So, yes, then later Saturday night, because I have no impulse control, I will be playing in Sister Cities over on Exquisite Corpse Presents. I'll be off Sunday. Monday, I will be in Thy Kingdom Come over with Live from the Apocalypse. I will be with Lost Caravan for our space campaign, Nova, on Wednesday. I will be with Never Embers Enigma on LFTA next Thursday. And I will be running the second table of A Season of Secrets and Shadows, if we're going to count that, the following Saturday. And I will be with Academy H on Sunday. And I think that's all the games I have to disclose at this point, although there is a new one that is on my calendar, but it is not official and we do not have a start date yet. It is fine. Do not worry about it. Everything is fine.
is
With
it?
that, yeah, it's so fine. It's like what 9-10 games after A Season of Secrets and Shadows ends.
Sure.
Sure. Normal.
I make
stuff.
normal and very hinged decisions. I certainly am not GMing 3 games this week.
Lie to God, not to me.
It's valid. That's
Thanks, Q,
valid.
for that one.
You're so welcome.
And with that, I think that brings us to our wrapping up for tonight. So, a few things that I would be plugging for Entropy Emporium have already been plugged. Obviously, we are here every other Tuesday for They Call Us Villains. We have Project Reach, as mentioned, on Thursdays, but not this Thursday. I was told by JT that there will be a special stream this Thursday playing New Vegas. And there will be a community night on the Discord, which you should join this coming Friday. We also have some incredible games that are coming up very, very soon. A Girl by Moonlight game, an Invisible Sun game, and a D&D game. So keep an eye on the socials and see when those are going to air. But with that, it is late. We should sleep because we all sleep a normal amount. I am going to have us raid Guild Superior, say hello to them, and be able to be friendly and support them, as several of us here have gotten to play with them before and adore them and the work that they do. And so with that, stay on for the raid, be friendly, and to my lovely cast, say goodnight.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.